This week at Games Upcast, we are all about positivity. Now, we're always about positivity, but this week we specifically wanted to show you some of the most positive things happening in gaming. On Monday, in the main podcast, we told you to go and follow some really cool, positive content makers who spread good stories about gaming. And today, we hope to be one of those people spreading good stories about gaming. When I reached the EGX show floor, I saw some wonderful games, but none of them stood out in quite the same positive, vibey way as Be Kind. Be Kind has a really cool idea behind it, a really cool push behind it, and it's trying to do something wonderful. So without further ado, I will leave you in the hands of myself in the past and Hannah with Be Kind. We're still here at the Res Zone on the show floor of EGX 2018, joined by the best indie devs that we can find here on the show floor, and I found another one, but it's not the kind of game you might expect to find in the Res Zone. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
So introduce yourself to the wonderful people at home, as few or as many as there may be of them. Who are you? What are you here to do? What's your game?
Sure. My name is Hannah Badette, and I am here demoing Be Kind with the National Film and Television School.
Awesome. So I kind of saw out Be Kind when I saw it on the website, and I've looked a little bit at what you guys are doing, because it's immediately clear that what you're going after is the game kind of has a social message, right?
Yeah, exactly. So my passion is educational games, and I'm an environmentalist as well, so I wanted to make a game that looks at some of the issues that bees are facing and, most importantly, some of the ways that we can help make a difference, like, for example, planting seeds.
So the game kind of takes you through, it almost feels like it takes you through the day-to-day life of a bee, if that's a nice way to put it, and how the kind of the factors that we take for granted, like how we live, how we affect our environment around us, might pose a real challenge for them. Is that kind of the vibe you were going for?
Yeah, so we wanted people to be able to really feel a connection with the bee, which is partly why it's so cute, and we wanted them to feel the experience of being a tiny thing in a huge world and kind of relate to what that's like.
So the other thing it reminded me of is classic kind of 3D platformers, where there's just a big world and lots of things to find in it, but it's up to you to find it. Does that kind of ring true with how you've been developing the game?
Yeah, definitely. So because the core mechanics are quite simple, we had that polished in beta quite early on, and then we wanted people to be able to feel like there were hidden things to find and ways to explore. So there are things that are not immediately obvious as interactive, but there's things like a spinning windmill, and a dripping tap and that sort of stuff to make people feel like the world is responding to them.
Awesome. Something that struck me while I was doing the demo is it becomes incredibly clear quite early on that your meaning for this game to be educational. It presents facts in a cool way. It presents the way it's narrated feels almost like a nature documentary. And I think video games for education is a really interesting and quite a niche little area. So do you think that video games for education is something that we should be looking more into or looking to harness more of?
I absolutely do, yeah. I think a lot of parents are worried about their children spending time on screens, and I think that that's going to happen anyway with the presence of technology in our lives. So what I'm trying to do is find a way for that screen time to be put to use. And I think also games are just a really great way for anyone of any age to try and learn something by actually experiencing it and being able to interact with it. And especially with this game, you can do it at your own pace. So I think people find that really, really good.
I totally appreciate and resonate with that. We are at a time at the minute where we seem to be in between one and another moral panic about this game is ruining my children or this game is whatever and ever. And I like that there are games like this that come from individuals with cool ideas that are a counterpoint to that whole idea of the moral panic, that this industry can do wonderful things as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they made a game addiction and a disorder recently, right? So it's really, really topical that people are worried about games, but I think there's no reason to panic. I think they can be a really good thing. We just need to reassess how we're using games and how people interact with them in their daily lives.
I can see absolutely no problem with the person being addicted to the B game, right? I mean, like, within reason, if you're not, like, you know, seeing your family and stuff, get help. But, like, this is a good thing. So what else should we know about Be Kind?
So one of the things that we're really proud of in Be Kind is that we worked with Chris Jarvis, who presents for CBeebies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he does the commentary in the game. So we were trying to find a way to make the game educational, but obviously a lot of young kids, their reading isn't that advanced, so we decided to go with commentary instead, and Chris was really enthusiastic about the morals behind the game. And we've also tested it in both a primary school and a museum, and we had really great feedback from the kids then, so we're hoping to expand it in the future.
So, totally made by education for education.
Exactly, yeah.
Perfect, absolutely perfect. Well, where can people find Be Kind if they're more interested in it?
So we're on Instagram and Twitter at BeKindGame. We're also on YouTube and Facebook, and we have a website which is bekindgame.com.
Awesome. There's all the social medias. Go out and have a look at it, and just generally be kind. Thanks.
Thank you.
So that was Be Kind, and that was our week of spreading positivity. We would love for you to spread it with us. If you feel like doing so, please like the show so that we know we're doing good things. Share it out to your friends if you think that they'll benefit from this or Monday's episode. Subscribe to the show so that you don't miss it, because hopefully next week we're going to have something super positive to spread to you, and you won't want to miss that. Thank you for listening. We will see you on Monday for hopefully some very, very good